Hi guys, welcome back to the Miss Beauty Saver vlog channel. Today's video is one that has been long overdue. It's an e.l.f. haul that I ordered quite a while ago and I'm only just hauling it for you. And I very nearly had another e.l.f. haul for you as well, but I managed to refrain myself, but it was difficult because e.l.f. do like to have their brilliant offers, like 50% off plus 2 free products. It's like, come on, what are you trying to do to a makeup addict? But yeah, since I not even hauled my last e.l.f. haul, then that was kind of like a good reason to maybe not go ahead and get some more stuff just yet, considering I've not even had a chance to haul the other stuff. But anyway, here it is in this lovely little, not so little, quite big box. And this haul was actually quite exciting because it represented my first venture into some pretty exciting e.l.f. stuff, including e.l.f. makeup brushes, and I think that is what I will start with. And I got 4 brushes. These are the ones that I got. Some of them are open, some of them I've been using. The retractable lip brush I don't think I've even tried yet, but that is one of the brushes that I got of Studio Retractable Lip Brush. Then I got the e.l.f. Complexion Brush, which is really good for powder, and it's a really nice brush. It's very soft. And then I also got the e.l.f. powder brush because I know this kind of flat topped powder brush is a really versatile brush. You can apply foundation, you can apply powder. Well, being a powder brush, it would be kind of disappointing if you couldn't. And I guess it's also kind of good for your mineral foundations and all kinds of different stuff. And I also got the e.l.f. Stipple Brush, and as you can see, I have been using this little baby, and I've been using it to apply my blush with because do tend to go a bit overboard on the blush from time to time, especially when something's really pigmented. So with this brush, it definitely helps in that you can't go too overboard with the application because it's not as dense on the bristles, so it doesn't pick up as much product, and then therefore you can't apply a huge amount of product to your face at any one time. So that's good for people like me who, you know, people actually sometimes comment on the amount of blush that I'm wearing, so probably not the best thing in the world. You know, when people comment you on your eyeshadow or your lipstick, great, but you know, your blush, probably wearing too much. Speaking of blush, I picked up a contouring blush and bronzing powder, and the reason I picked this up was because I'd already picked up the other 2 combinations on my last e.l.f. order, and this one was out of stock, so I decided to go for this. Speaking of stuff that was out of stock, it actually made it even harder for me to resist the most recent temptation that e.l.f. put in my way, which was the 50% off and the 2 free products, because there was a ton of stuff that was in stock that had been out of stock for ages, like the basic blending brush and contour brush, crease brush, all that kind of stuff was in stock, as was the e.l.f. HD powder, which I'll get to that in a moment, but I love it basically. So yeah, I got this, and did I even tell you what shade this was in? This is in the shade Antigua, and or it may just be pronounced Antigua, I'm not quite sure. But this is like a really nice pale kind of Barbie pink with the typical kind of deep bronzer type contour shade. So quite excited to try that. I don't think I've actually really tried that one yet. Okay, I also picked up the e.l.f. Baked Blush. The thing to be aware of the e.l.f. Baked blushes is that a lot of them seem to be more highlighters rather than blushes, so if you're looking for a pigmented blush with good colour payoff, these probably aren't what you're looking for. They're definitely more of a highlighter type product. They are really nice, and I have used this a ton since I bought it because it's just such a good highlighter. Even though it's called a blush, it's a really good highlighter and I really enjoy it, and that is in the shade Pinktastic. Next we have the e.l.f. High Definition powder. This is a loose powder and it's in the shade Translucent. No, it's not. It's in the shade Sheer, which is, I guess, the equivalent of a translucent shade. It's very white and doesn't really add any coverage or anything. But this is so good. I absolutely love this powder. And it's extremely mattifying as well, even though it's not actually in any way marketed as a mattifying powder. It's far more mattifying than any other mattifying powder that I've ever used, and this isn't even a mattifying powder. Bizarre, I know, but I love this stuff and I'm seriously tempted to go back and stock up, but I'm trying not to because I really want to use some other powders first, and I know if I get a ton of these, this is all I'll use. So I love that product. This is a repurchase. This is the e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder, and I've just finished up one of these actually. You'll see it in my next empties video, and I really like this stuff, and I guess it's just like a more finely milled version of the e.l.f. HD face powder, and it was using this and loving this so much that finally persuaded me that I needed to try this. So I really like this stuff and I cannot wait to get started on my second packet of this. I also picked up 4 mineral eyeshadows, and there they all are. I got the shade Caffeinated, which is quite a dark brown coffee type colour. I got the shade Celebrity, which is kind of like a orangey taupey kind of brown. They're all kind of brown neutral shades that I went for, and Confident, which is quite a dark brown colour, and Angelic, which is just a white colour, which I thought would be really good for the brow bone and the inner corner. I've only really used 2 of them so far. I've only been using Angelic and Celebrity. These are extremely sparkly and they've got a really good colour payoff. One thing to bear in mind with the mineral eyeshadows is because they don't really contain any preservatives at all, I don't think, then they actually only have a shelf life of 3 months, and I've already had these for more than 3 months, and I'm probably going to keep on using them for a wee bit longer as well. But that's just one thing to be aware of if you do like to keep strictly within the recommended limits of the expiry dates. Then these have extremely short expiry dates on, and I really like them. I think if you go onto my blog, I think you'll find a little bit more info kind of with swatches and stuff, but I'll just quickly show you what one of them's like so you can get an idea how kind of sparkly they are. This is Angelic, so it looks like one finger, extremely pigmented, very nice. And I'll just swatch that on my hand. They're not too messy, these either. Not too bad for kind of fallout and things like that. So quite pleased about that. I mean, I guess I could kind of use it as a highlighter, but very sparkly highlighter. But I have kind of tried it as a highlighter as well, and bit of overkill, but maybe for a night out. Could try that. And I also picked up, oh yes, the e.l.f. eyelid primers in sheer. I picked up 2 of those because this is another thing that has always been out of stock before when I've ordered eyelid primers. I've always managed to pick up the other colours, like the pearl colour, and I think I got champagne or something like that, but the actual original sheer colour, which is the most popular, is usually out of stock, so I picked up 2 of those. And I also picked up a mineral eyeshadow primer, and this was to go with the mineral eyeshadows, although for some reason bizarrely I've been using the mineral eyeshadows and completely forgot to use the mineral eyeshadow primer, probably because I already have quite a few primers on the go and I'm trying to save this one for some insane hoarder like reason that I cannot quite understand. I am a makeup hoarder. Anyway, the last item I picked up in this haul is the e.l.f. Healthy Glow bronzer, and this I think can be used as a highlighter possibly. Not tried it yet, as you can see it is still in the packaging, which, you know, this is kind of why I decided to not go for another haul just yet, or another order from e.l.f, because you know, some of this stuff I've not even had a chance to take it out of the packaging and try yet. But I do have a slightly strange thing where I like to preserve makeup, and I like to try and use things up systematically rather than having too many things on the go where I'm going to feel overwhelmed. But I'm generally not very successful at doing that, so I don't know why I just don't use everything at once. But anyway, I am looking forward to trying this because I've heard some really good things about it, and I think it might make a really nice kind of highlighter type product, even though it is kind of sort of as a bronzer. It does say that it brightens skin with a healthy glow, and it's called Luminance is the shade, so I guess it adds a touch of luminosity to the skin. Anyway, that's it for my e.l.f. haul. It's taken me absolutely ages to actually film this video. It was requested a long time ago, and it is now finally filmed. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you again in another video quite soon. Bye for now.